So I am so delighted and proud to be here with all of you at the launch of the Vivli platform. I see so many familiar faces, and looking back on the last 5 years, I know many of us have been on this journey together, and some of us probably thought this day would never come. Vivli is quite simply big data in action as applied to clinical trials. So what can researchers do today, now that we're live, that they couldn't do yesterday? And what makes our platform unique, innovative, and different? So for the first time, we offer the complete package of bridging from partner platforms across multiple diseases. So researchers can take data that's hosted on Vivli, partner platforms, and multiple sources, including, as you'll soon see, small biotech, pharmaceutical companies, nonprofits and foundations, academia, government sources, and others, and bridge them across a cloud platform built on Microsoft's Azure. And we all know that science has no borders, which is why Vivli is disease agnostic. We bring together all these different sources and to maximize source diversity, to drive forward the culture of data sharing. So data sharing, in the end, is for the benefit of patients. And we need to remember that. For this endeavor to thrive, we really benefit from the generosity of patients who have participated in clinical trials. And let's look at the Vivli by the numbers today. I am really thrilled to announce that today we have 2,500 trials on the platform. And this includes 1.3 million participants from 98 countries. And Vivli is the gateway to thousands of clinical trials, thousands of the richest clinical trials that currently exist. This represents 15 diverse members. And we look to see these numbers rise quickly over the coming months. And we are delighted by the enthusiasm from our initial founding members, and we believe this is just the beginning. And I want to thank many of the members that are here with us in the room today. We hope that in the not-too-distant future, as a community, we can comprehend the true impact of the contribution by the leaders that are the vanguard that have come forward as the founders of Vivli, and I want to thank you all. So why does it matter that the data is being shared with the community in the numbers and the breadth and the scope today? That we have the breadth of the disease and the source diversity. So science and research continually builds on one another and on one another's ideas to drive forward the next discovery. So I recently had a conversation with an epilepsy researcher, and interestingly, he wasn't just interested in accessing epilepsy studies. He was interested in accessing studies in other neurological diseases. And that's because, as we all know, there's a complex interplay with these complex diseases, and that's why Vivli is disease agnostic. And we have the breadth of diseases that we do in Vivli. So another reason why, when we think about why it matters for Vivli, and when we think about data sharing, data sharing reduces duplication of clinical trials. And what we can do is learn from what's already been done and not reinventing the wheel. Most importantly, we do not want to put future patients' lives at risk. In a prior life, when I worked in the pharmaceutical industry, planning trials, I used to run and plan trials. And I really wish there was something like Vivli back then. The ability to shape trials in the planning stage decreased the chance that patients' lives would take unnecessary risks so they can be conducted faster is of huge potential value. And when we've talked to patient groups, we know that patients would like their data to be used more than one time. So our mission is to do as much as we can to make the most of their contribution and believe that there is an ethical mandate to do so. There are three key benefits for data contributors. First of all, to increase the discoverability by sharing through a global platform that is Vivli. Secondly, harmonization for increased efficiency, to take advantage of our harmonized policies and streamlined processes. And lastly, reduce workload. We have a dedicated staff that can centrally manage queries on the ground. And we have a number of benefits for researchers as well, our end users. There are a number of funder and journal mandates. As we all know, the ICMJE has come out with a data sharing statement just yesterday, which is quite timely. Vivli has the ability to analyze and aggregate data. And lastly, user support services. So we have 24/7 global support services for all users. And then I just want to take a moment to talk about how Vivli actually works. So there's the search. We have a robust search engine, streamlined search, a number of different ways how Vivli can be used. So first of all, anyone can use Vivli's search engine for anonymized individual participant level data, the raw data that emanates from clinical trials. Put in a request for the data, and each data request is reviewed according to those contributors' publicly stated requirements on their member page. Access that data, and once that data is approved, it can be accessed via our secure enclave or downloaded with permission. And lastly, use robust analytical tools to analyze those multiple data sets and aggregate them. And then disseminate the research, so we follow that in an end-to-end process. Our partnership structure, we are very proud to be working with our partners Microsoft and Insight Blue Metal, who is our architect and has helped us build this platform on Microsoft's secure cloud to drive forth scientific research and data sharing. I just want to take a moment to thank our founding funders and partners, without whom this would not be possible. So the Doris Duke Foundation, Laura and John Arnold Foundation, who has really had the faith and were our founding funders, the Helmsley Charitable Trust, the Ropes and Gray, and then our tech partners, Microsoft and Blue Metal. Thank you. And now I want to speak directly for those who have joined Vivli to contribute data. We welcome and thank you for joining us. And then there are some of those out there who are thinking about joining Vivli as a contributor of data. That can only mean that you have valuable data that is ready to be shared with the rest of the world. We look forward to partnering with you and opening up a path of discovery for new insights to drive forward and new insights for human health. Researchers. For researchers, we invite you to log on to Vivli starting today and explore the more than 2,500 trials that have been shared so far. This is only the beginning. Begin your search. We look forward to hearing from you soon. I now hand over the podium to my colleague, Paul Slater from Microsoft, who will say a few words.